to his football team, the New York Giants. Dictionary is the only place that success comes before work. Hard work is the price we must pay for success. I think you can accomplish anything if you're willing to pay the price. What Lombardi meant by that was, the only way to accomplish anything is to possess the intense drive, perseverance, determination, and dedication to do so. If we work hard but in a smart way, we will be highly rewarded. I started off this ISM program already prepared and ready to go. Prepared in the sense I already knew what my topic was. I already started contacting a few professionals related to my topic, and I had a few people in mind for mentors. And I remember Mr. Pirtle telling me in the first 6 weeks that I was like a good 2 to 3 months ahead of everybody else. I started out this ISM career with the topic of study, electrical and computer engineering. In the summer of 2012, I went to work with my uncle at HP over at South Lake, and he's a computer engineer. I saw him fixing computer softwares, designing them, analyzing them, and when I watched him do all this, I felt an interest in to keep staying and observing. Usually I'm the type of person that if I don't have any interest in anything, then I would just get up and walk out. But after seeing him do all this with his coworkers, I just wanted to stay and keep learning. And he even let me fix the computer chip that his team was working on at that time. And after helping him out and then talking with a few of his coworkers, something told me that that was the career that I wanted to pursue in the future. As time went by, I started to think of this particular field of study if it was really something that I wanted to do, both in ISM and in the future. I came to the conclusion that engineering was not a profession that I wanted to pursue in the future, and I changed my topic to radiology, specifically interventional radiology. So many of you might be wondering why from engineering to interventional radiology. I know it'll sound cliche if I said that my dad's a radiology tech, therefore I want to do radiology, but the real reason why is because my dad was a radiology tech. I looked more into that career, and then I found that it was something interesting to me. Interventional radiologists. So there's two types of radiology. One is diagnostic, one is interventional. Diagnostic radiologists are the doctors who just sit in a room for maybe a good 8 to 10 hours, looking at x-rays, reading images, and then interventional radiologists are the radiologists who conduct the surgical procedures to take out the tumor and cancer cells in your body. And with the interviews I've conducted with both interventional and diagnostic radiologists, I've noted that interventional radiologists have more fun with their job than diagnostic due to what they do on a regular day-to-day basis. I didn't want to sit in an office for 8 to 10 hours just reading images. I think people can go crazy if they do that for the rest of their lives for maybe a good 40 to 50 years. I wanted to do more of a hands-on experience, interact with the patients and do the surgeries. And these are the doctors, diagnostic radiologists. What they do is they read the images of the tumors and of the cancer cells. They give it to the interventional radiologists, and these doctors do the surgical procedures. And that's one of the tools that they use to conduct the surgery on the patients. As ISM started to really pick up and get started after the first 6 weeks, I had a difficult time adjusting to the work demand and independent nature of the class. I had never been exposed to a class where a student was fully reliable for remembering the submission of their work, remembering assignments that was due every week. I had become so used to teachers reminding me about the assignments that it took a while before I finally got into the habit of checking the ISM calendar, the Learning Hub constantly, to make sure if I had completed all my assignments that were due that week. Similarly, I also had to adjust to the increased amount of work that this class required. I used to remember sleepless nights I would spend to, call up doctors, professionals related to this career, and I'd never really done that in my life. I used to remember I pulled out the first all-nighter after I got accepted into ISM, maybe second or third 6 weeks. I pulled up like 2, 3 all-nighters in a week, so that was a learning experience for me. My experience with my specific topic this first semester has been great, and I now know radiology is the major that I want to pursue in the future. What I found most challenging in the first semester was following up with phone calls and conducting interviews. I never, as I said before, conducting these phone calls, maybe I'll conduct like maybe one or two first week and then wait till they contact you back. But then I came to find out, Mr. Pirtle told me when I met up with him one day, he was to tell him about my progress so far. And I told him, none of the doctors are calling back, none of the professionals are calling back. And he was like, how hard are you trying? Are you contacting them every week? And I was like, no, maybe once or twice a week, and then I would wait for 2 to 3 weeks until they call me back. He was like, that's what you have to change. The effort that you put in is the effort that you will get back. And so I started to just constantly call the professionals, call doctors each week. And something valuable that Mr. Pirtle told me was the more that you try, the more effort that you put in, you'll surely reap the results. And what I got out of all the callings and what I got out of all these interviews is my mentor, Dr. Dave Botcher, I confirmed last Friday. Dr. Dave Botcher is an interventional radiologist at Baylor McKinney. During my mentor visits, I've learned about some of the procedures used to treat patients, and I've seen the machines interventional radiologists use to conduct the surgical procedures on their patients. Dr. Dave Botcher, he was a diagnostic radiologist at first. Diagnostic radiologist, as I mentioned before, read the pictures and the images of the cancer and tumor cells. And then Dr. Botcher didn't like what he was doing. He was like sitting in a room for 8 hours. It really wasn't, he really didn't like it. So he switched. It took him another 2 to 3 years at Baylor University, but he switched to interventional radiology. And he told me that after switching, it's more fun interacting with the patients. And at the end of the day, what makes his job most special is when the patient that you have treated comes back to you and says, I feel a good 30 to 40 years younger, or the pain that I once had in my body is all gone. That's the best part about this job. I learned a lot about my topic through the fair amounts of research and interviews I have conducted. Through a series of assessments, evidences of learning, and interviews, I have learned the different educational requirements, salaries, duties, and colleges that are associated with interventional radiology. So as I said about education, for any medical profession, mainly like doctors and those high-ranking doctors, you need 4 years of undergraduate, which is your pre-med, that you will complete in schools like UT Dallas, UNT, Texas A&M, SMU. From there, you go to 4 years pre-med. 4 years medical school, which is Johns Hopkins University, New York University, Temple University. And from there, you will complete a 4 to 5 year fellowship. You used to be 4 years back maybe 2006 and before, but now the requirement is 5 years to gain that more experience. And it's a good 12 to 13 years of school. And from then you will join the hospital that your school funds. Like at New York University, you go to the New York Hospital. Johns Hopkins University, you will go to the Johns Hopkins Hospital. And from there, you will just begin your practice. And another thing was salary. Interventional radiologists, the average base salary is $380,000. The top 10% interventional radiologists make a good $800 to $1 million. The lowest 10%, which I like to call the sucky interventional radiologists, make about $100,000 to $200,000. So you can pursue this topic of study. You can be the suckiest radiologist out there, but still make sufficient amount of money to provide for you and your family. Other interesting things that I've learned about my topic was general anesthesia usually is not required when doctors are treating their patients. Risk, pain, and recovery time are often significantly reduced, and the procedures are sometimes less expensive than surgery or other alternatives. Ontario Association of Radiologists have said that as technology advances and high-quality imaging equipment becomes more widely available, interventional radiology is able to offer patients and referral physicians a host of new treatment options. As I already mentioned, my mentor, Dr. Dave Batra. The most interesting and most exciting part about my learning experience was learning about some of the procedures used to treat the patients and learning about the machines and tools interventional radiologists use to conduct the surgical procedures on their patients. These are some of the procedures that you would use to treat your patients, and that's, as I mentioned before, that's the main tool that you will use. Your patient will lie there, you got all the images of the tumors, whether leg, head, brain, or anywhere inside the body, and then using those x-ray machines, the doctors will go in and do their best to take the tumor and cancer cells out of your body. The success rate is 96 to 97%. As time progresses, I believe that my level of understanding of this particular field of medicine has also progressed as well. Looking back at the first semester, I now know more about this topic than I did maybe 3 to 4 months ago. I want to accomplish many things this spring semester. My goals for this spring semester is to come up with a mind-blowing original project for my final presentation, perfect my presentation skills, and I want to end this year strong in all my classes, and I want to focus on completing a successful mentorship with Dr. Dave Batra. I want to be able to get first-hand experience in interventional radiology and to gain the knowledge and get a feel for how this profession really is. When the original project concept was briefly mentioned and not elaborated on before winter break, I thought it was just a presentation like I'm giving right now with a few slides or so. And I was like, okay, that's not bad, that's doable. But when I fully came to understand this original project concept, and during the brainstorming activity that we did in class, and that you have to make something and that you have to present in front of maybe a good 30 to 40 people, consisting of your friends and family, I was like, maybe I should drop out of this class, but it was too late by then. For my original project, my big idea, which I really don't think is that big at all, and an idea that I might and will change in the coming days, is to work with my mentor to create a radiology website that has information about what this profession is, what it does, and to create sort of a documentary that shows the surgical procedures and put it on their website. I had other ideas in mind, which was bring in a live tumor and give a short lecture about what that is, how to treat it, bring in show a video of a surgery on a patient, but my mentor said that's not possible. So, and then bring in a former cancer patient or a tumor patient and tell them about their life story. So bringing in the tumor and then bringing in a patient. I have a few family members who are cancer patients and who have dealt with brain tumors and leg tumors. So, I was thinking of bringing them in and in front of everybody, tell them about their life story and what interventional radiology do to take those tumor and cancer cells out of their body. And then, which I really don't like this idea, but create a website. Mostly everybody in my class is doing a website, so I wanted to really go above and beyond, so I plan to change that in the coming days. If I were to stick with my website idea, then how that will benefit my mentor is that more people will come to know who he is, his specialization, and that will help that hospital he works for to get more patients who has a tumor or cancer. In conclusion, dictionary is the only place that success comes before work. Hard work is the price we must pay for success. I think you can accomplish anything if you're willing to pay the price. As Lombardi said, the only way to accomplish anything is to possess intense drive and perseverance to do so. If we work hard in a smart way, we will be highly rewarded